Hello children, once again we are coming back. Last class we had done with the capacitance and we had got the condition that how it is working out. Means we had calculated the capacitance of a spherical conductor. But today's class we will be talking about the potential energy of the conductor. Now when you talk of conductor, then the potential energy is a very important factor that we need to understand. So let us do with the potential energy of a conductor. Okay, potential energy of a conductor. Now when we talk of the potential energy of the conductor, then definitely whenever we do with the potential energy, what is the first thing that we need to do? We need to find out the work done. So we'll find out the work done, and after finding out the work done, we'll assume that it is being stored in the conductor in the form of the potential energy. Now when you do with the work done, then what exactly is the formula? Generally, if you remember, we used to do with force into displacement, but it is not electrostatics. We had one formula for that. Potential is equals to work done by charge. So if potential equals to work done by charge, then work done will be what? Think of. So we have potential is equals to work done by charge. Work done by charge, then work done is equals to potential. This is the small amount of work done. dW is equals to V into dQ. Let us assume we are finding out the work done for putting a very small amount of charge, that is dQ. So V into dQ. Now V is equals to what? C is equals to Q by V. So V is equals to Q by C. So let's write. This is Q dQ divided by C. Now C is the constant term. C is the constant. I already stated it depends upon the shape and size of the conductor. So here when we find out the total work done, then W is equals to 1 by C, we keep it out, and this is Q dQ, 0 to Q, and this is 1 by C, this is Q square by 2, and if you substitute upper limit minus lower limit, you are getting 1 by C, Q square by 2. Now Q is equals to CV, so Q square is equals to C square V square. So if you substitute 2C, C square V square, so ultimately we are coming up with the work done, that is in the form of the potential energy, as equals to half CV square. So what is the formula for the potential energy? Potential energy basic formula. Potential energy formula comes at half CV square. Sometimes we write as U, half CV square. So this is the formula that we have for the potential energy for a conductor. Half C is the capacitance of the conductor and V is the potential difference. Okay. Now let's talk more about it. The part which we are going to do just now, it is very important for you to do with the numerical problems. Generally when you do with the numerical problems, these problems arises. So let us talk about one thing one by one. We'll talk about the common potential. Let's see what is happening out here. Okay, let's talk about the common potential. Now, common potential, when we talk, then let us assume there are two conductors A and B. Okay, so initially its capacitance is C. So we have two capacitance. We are talking about the common potentials. Common potential. And this we have got two conductors A and B. Its initial capacitance is C1, C2. Potential is V1, V2. So let us suppose its initial energy is half C1 V1 square, and this initial energy is half C2 V2 square. Okay. Now when they are not being connected by anything, now you take a conductor and you connect these two capacitors. So when you are connecting it with a wire or anything conducting material, then what really happens, there is a flow of charge from higher potential to lower potential. You all know this. So when we are connecting it, there is a flow of charge. Let us assume this initial charge is Q1 and this initial charge is Q2. Now this flow of charge will continue until they attain the same potential. The moment both the conductors will have the same potential, the transfer of charge will stop. So that is the point where we talk of the common potential. So we have the common potential, let us assume V, because now we have conducted it, we cannot talk in terms of V1 and V2. We will talk of V. V is the common potential. Since V is the common potentials, then V is equals to Q1 plus Q2 divided by C1 plus C2. What was Q1? C1 V1. What is Q2? C2 V2. And this is C1 plus C2. So this is the common potential. Now suppose if I want to find out the state of the charge after they have been connected, the state of the charge. So let us assume Q1 dash. Charge after the conductors are connected. So what it will be? It will be C1, its capacitance C1 and the common potential. Okay, because now it cannot be the initial potential because we are talking it after they have been connected. So it is C1V. Similarly, when we talk of this, it will be C2V. And V is what? C1. This is C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2. Okay. So this is what you are getting. Now suppose if the question asks how much charge has been conducted, how much charge, what is the difference? So initially it was Q1 and after they have been connected it is Q1 dash. So you can find out the difference of the two. So this is the way you are going to do. But next what is important is the potential energy, that is the energy. Sometimes it is being told that when you take the capacitor, listen to this properly. You have taken two conductors C1 and C2. So their initial energy is what? If you take it together, it is what you are reading up. Initial energy, total initial energy, we talk of both. So it is half C1 V1 square plus half C2 V2 square, right? And if I take UF, this is the initial energy before they were connected, and this is the final energy after they have been connected. So what energy we have? This will be half C1 plus C2 and this is V square. Why? Because after they have been connected, they don't have a very different potential. The potential is a common potential that we have. We don't have a different potential. Things you need to understand. This is a very important thing that children, many of you face difficulty in doing it. Because when you take two conductors and you join it by a conductor wire or a metallic wire, there is a flow of charge from one to the other, and this continues until they attain the common potential. We talk of common potential. Here V becomes the common potential. So your formula changes, and many times they give the question, show that UI is greater than UF. It means you have to show that initially when they were not connected, their energy was more, but after they have been connected, their energy is less. So because there is a loss of energy. Okay, so loss of energy can be given in terms of UI minus U. Because this loss of energy, there may be times when you take two conductors connected wire, the wire which is connecting this conductor gets heated up, or there is a chit chat sound, some or the other, there is a wastage of energy. So we are not accountable for what part of his energy has been wasted. We are accountable with how much we have it now and how much we had it in the beginning. So in order to do this, suppose if you take these two values and you find that you get a positive quantity, UI minus UF, if you get a positive quantity, you infer that there has been a loss of energy. If you get a negative quantity, it simply shows that the final energy was more than the initial. Getting it? So when you compute, you take the value of this whole, you take this value of whole. Now from the previous value which we had derived for the common potential, you substitute for V here, can do the calculation, you will be getting the values as equals to half, that is Ui minus Uf. This value you will get C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2, and this is V1 difference of V2 का whole square. Now this is when you substitute for V and then you calculate, you will get this value. I am not doing it now because there is a restriction of time, but when you do it, you get this equation. When you get this equation, what you really find that C1 and C2 can never be negative. The capacitance of the conductor is never negative. It's always a positive quantity, right? Now there is a chance here V1 minus V2, I get a positive quantity, but it may happen, I have written the different signs, that the potential of second was greater and the first one was less. So in that case you come with a negative quantity, but when you come with a negative quantity and you square it, so you get again a positive quantity. So as a whole, when you calculate, you will find that Ui minus Uf is what you are getting, a positive quantity. And this very well shows the condition that the initial potential energy was more than the final potential energy, and this gives you an idea there is a loss of energy. So when you talk of loss of energy, when you talk of common potential, when you talk of how much energy, how much charge has you have it at present, how much it has been transferred, so all these things comes into this category. I hope this with this you must have understood. Next class we are going to start with capacitors, and we will be understanding what exactly is capacitor, how it functions, and we will be doing two cases there. One is with dielectric and the other one without dielectric. Okay, till then it's goodbye.